I have in my possession two utterly beautiful Robovacs. An iRobot J7 Plus that wouldn't look out of place on the Death Star, and a Roborock S8 Pro Ultra, which is giving off more of a Jedi Council vibe. It does look a little bit more like a stormtrooper. And I have a penchant for testing Robovacs to complete destruction. And today, one of these Robovacs gets very, very upset. Now stop. No. Don't. Just. Oh god. I give up. I'll do it. I'll do it, Shah. Don't worry. I'll do it. No. 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 Back in there. No. Oh. Oh wait, sorry. It's me that gets very, very upset. Thanks to Roborock for sponsoring today's video and for not only sending me the Roborock S8 Pro Ultra, but they've also been super brave and given me the money to go on Amazon and buy myself an iRobot J7 Plus combo for comparison. And we already know that the iRobot J7 Plus is a staple of the Robovac market, so the big question is, will the Roborock S8 Pro Ultra, with its massive 6,000 pascals of suction power, be able to knock it off its throne? The last Roborock vacuum that I reviewed actually became our mainstay vacuum, and this one has several upgrades. The suction power has increased from 5,100 pascals to 6,000, and now has dual rollers spinning in opposing directions to increase performance and minimize pet hair tangles, but just like its predecessor, it fills itself with clean water, mops your house, and then empties both its dirty water tank and its waste bin when it's finished. But this time, the dock has an even larger capacity for waste and water. But probably the most preposterous upgrade that is entirely new to this dock, and get this, once it's finished cleaning itself, which in itself is totally mental, let me just demonstrate that.
Going to wash the mop.
Once it's finished doing this, it dries itself off. The dock has a built-in air dryer that dries not only the robot and its mop, but also dries itself to get rid of any potential for smelliness or bacteria. Today I am going to be firing both of these robots at dog turds. I'm going to put them both in completely impossible situations to see which one escapes. Oh, you just don't give a shit, do you? But most importantly, I'm going to feed them so much garbage. She's telling me over and over again to empty the... You empty the bin! Why would I empty the bin? That's what I bought! You empty the bin! Both of these robots have scheduling systems and also work with Amazon Alexa and Google Home for voice control. Both robots have a camera-based AI-backed obstacle avoidance system. Both robots have a rubberized dual brush design on the base for reducing pet hair entanglement. Both robots have a side brush for getting into corners, drop sensors to avoid falling downstairs, and a floor tracker to figure out when they are entering and leaving carpeted areas so that they can automatically retract their mop. And it's the retractable mop design which is the first differentiating factor. The iRobot doesn't have a scrubbing system, which is something that the Roborock does. And whereas the Roborock protects carpet by lifting its little butt flap off the floor, the iRobot has a seriously cool system that moves the mop all the way to the top of the unit when carpet is detected. That might be the coolest thing I've ever seen. But this is where we hit a major snag with the mopping system for the iRobot. The iRobot, although it has this amazing feature, its dock has no way of filling this thing with water. In fact, the only thing the dock has is a dustbin. This means that you have to fill the robot manually with water by hand. Like a peasant. I'm above that now. It can empty its dustbin into its main unit, but what's the point of that? If I have to change the mop head every single time, give the mop a scrubbing myself, refill this thing manually by hand, and then reattach the water tank before every use. What's the point of it? I don't understand why you would even have a base station. Yabba dabba, don't buy this. Maybe I'm overreacting. For me personally, the whole point of a dock is that you don't have to keep touching the robot. The robot goes into its dock, it does its thing, and then you empty the dock once a month. You can't do that with this thing. If you want to mop your floors, you're going to have to keep replacing the mop and doing all that stuff. It's off to a bad start, but there are other considerations. Here are some of them. For object avoidance, the Roborock S8 Pro Ultra is using what they're calling Reactive 3D, which utilizes 3D structured light and an infrared camera to detect small objects in its cleaning path. The iRobot, on the other hand, is using a traditional camera method to figure out what objects are, so it can entirely ignore them and mow them down in cold blood. For every obstacle they hit, there'll be a 20-second penalty. Ladies and gentlemen, the giant turn. Gentlemen, start your engines, please. And they're off. iRobot taking the lead. He's already touched vehicles. He does not seem to care. And he's now going on. Oh! Look at that. Oh no, doesn't care. Hey, look at Roborock, go! iRobot looking very confused. Oh. You're gonna have to back out of that corner. No! Don't push my beer around. I know we got a fire hands there. Roborock to the finish line. iRobot just pushing everything around like it isn't there. Fantastic. Roborock wins the race. Again, I've seen other reviewers say that it does really well in this regard, so maybe in daily use there isn't much in it, but as for my assault course test, Roborock has it. For mopping though, I was severely disappointed with the iRobot's ability, because it's supposed to be best in class, and yet the first attempt on normal water setting was streaky. It was missing bits. But even worse, on my first attempt, it didn't even do the whole kitchen. Seriously, it just gave up. So I checked the mop pad and the robot was clearly just watering sections of it. So I set the water volume to max and then ran it again. Weirdly, this time it did more of the kitchen, but still didn't do the whole thing, and I can't understand why. It took a really weird route, and it stopped for ages to do a bit of carpet munching. No! Hello! Yes, you too, please! Carpet munching this week! It's disgusting! I died of shock! Yes, I'm speaking to you from the great beyond! It's lovely, actually. I think you got it, mate. I think it's clean. You can come back now. Dude, you got that bit! It's done! Right. Does that help? Oh, mate. So, get off! There you go, it's not there now. The Roborock seemed to apply the water more evenly across the mop and followed a far more sensible pattern to get the whole floor clean. It did a thorough job of the entire floor before returning to its dock like a hero heading off into the sunset. And there was the flower test that turned the iRobot into a sad cake. I swear this is how other YouTubers test Robovacs, but maybe I just used way too much flour, because this was so messy, and I'm not sure what it proved, other than that the Roborock was able to collect most of the flour, and the iRobot is a whiny baby. Bin's full, apparently. Bin's full. That ain't a full bin. Nothing like a full bin. I was unable to start. I'm not just doing this because I'm sponsored. I am livid. I'm kind of fed up. I've spent way too much time faffing about with this robot. Just go back to your dock and empty your in bin so I can carry on. She's telling me over and over again to empty the... You empty the bin! Why would I empty the bin? That's what I bought! You empty the bin! Believe it or not, I actually still think the J7 Plus is a great Robovac, so don't kick my ass in the comments. I'll explain in a moment exactly why I feel that way. First, I haven't finished trying to destroy the Roborock. Roborock's Vibrarise mopping system actually has a vibrating head. Stop it.
Oh yeah!
The iRobot doesn't, and so I, because I have no respect for my marriage, decided to bake Coca-Cola into my floor. Both vacuums did an awesome job of getting hair out of my carpets because they both have a very similar roller system. But there's a reason Roomba are one of the only vacuum manufacturers on the market that don't advertise their Pascal rating. If you watch Vacuum Wars tests on these vacs, you'll see that the Roombas all score really low on suction. This is fine on carpeted areas because the rollers make up for the lack of suction, and it's fine on hardwood floors because they're really easy to suck stuff up out of. But when you've got something stuck in your crevices now, yes. It's supposed to be a professional YouTube. I don't think there's anything professional about people's bottoms. So this is ultimately a paid review, and so it is super important that I tell you exactly what I think is wrong with this device. The S7 Max had this awesome feature which was for home monitoring where you could use the cameras and remote control your way around the house when you're abroad. Alright mate, I'm gonna bite your ankles off. How's that sound? If you're the tinfoil hat type, you'll prefer this vacuum because it doesn't have that functionality, but personally, I'm gonna miss it. Secondly, I haven't found a robot yet that won't chew cables. This does it, the iRobot does it, the previous S7 Max V Ultra did it, every robot I have ever tried does it. This is improving all the time. Roborock will be releasing firmware updates to hopefully resolve this in future, and they've already gone some way to improving it, but it does still occasionally eat a cable. Listen, if I was reviewing the J7 Plus in isolation, I would almost certainly say it's an awesome Robovac. And that's because this thing does work well under normal use. I have been stressing the hell out of both of these vacuums with the tests that I've done today, but it is undeniable that the Roborock has survived it far better. This means the longevity of that device is likely to be better than the iRobot's because over time, it's gonna go through some abuse. On top of this, the Roborock also has a far more feature-rich application. And for me personally, I don't want to have to keep filling a water tank, I don't want to have to keep cleaning a mop head, and by damn it, I want to throw as much flour as I want at my Robovac. If you want to pick up one of these vacuum cleaners, as usual, the links are in the description. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. That'll tell YouTube's algorithms it was a good video and more people should see it. If you want to see some more of this guy, hit that subscribe button and ding that bell. If you ding the bell, it lets YouTube know that you want to be notified when I upload videos. These incredible people running up your screen are my patrons from Patreon, and without them, this video would not exist. I would not be doing this for a living, I would be doing something else, and you would be watching something far more boring. If you want to be one of those incredible people, you can do that at either Patreon or buy me a one-off beer at PayPal. I'm not going to do this again. This is the third time I've tried to do this ending. You can buy me a one-off beer at PayPal, and either way, I will love you forever. These are my Facebooks and my Twitters and my Instagrams and my TikToks too. Come and hang out there. I'll give you best friends. See you next time. There's crevices now. Yes. Bottoms!